welcome back to our starter series for Greedy Cave 2. If you missed our last video, click this link to watch how to get your first set of gold gear. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to clear the first 10 levels in the Forgotten Cave. Let's start stinking! Hey guys, welcome back to another Greedy Cave 2 video. We talked about how to get your gold gear. Now we're going to step it up and explore all 10 floors and see what we encounter. We're going to be coming across enchantment tables, alchemy statues, new enemies, new traps. So everything that you can expect from the first 10 floors, we're going to cover right now. Alright, so what do we do on floor 1? Well, we got our gold set of gear, so it's pretty simple what we need to accomplish. We're just going to conquer everything. Use those gallop scrolls when you have access to them. Otherwise, kill everything in sight because health is not going to be an issue for you with this gold set of gear. Open the chest and let's move on to the next floor. The second floor is going to be pretty similar to the first floor as far as what we need to accomplish. You may see some new buff icons that we pick up along the way, but for the most part, it's going to be a repeat of floor 1. Get through all the enemies for XP, use your gallop scroll, and find those chests because you never know what kind of loot you're going to find. So far in these first 3 levels, we've come across some cave leeches, some mutated rats, and some karma fires. That's generally what you can expect from the first 3 floors. But starting on floor 3, you could come across an alchemy statue, and we're gonna see what happens if we can find one later in this level. But outside of that, guys, you really want to focus on paying attention to the loot you get. If you get gold loot, compare it to what you already have and focus on increasing your loot, increasing your XP, and getting those chests, and just see what else you might find here on floor 3. So there it is. There's our first alchemy statue that we've come across. In the first 10 levels, you're going to come across 2 of these suckers. So now that we found our first one, let's take a look at our gear. As of course you already know, we have all gold gear. So now you mainly just want to find one piece of gear that you want to add a stat to. So we have Dark Attack 5, Wood Attack 5. That one just has a HP boost and physical defense boost. So I think we're going to go back and use this Hunter's Vest because it has 2. So let's give it a 3rd stat. So we're going to take this Hunter's Vest, his Light Attack 5, Power 5%, and we're going to add a 3rd stat to it by putting it into the alchemy statue. Hit that alchemy button. Bam! Water Defense 5 has been added. So when you use this first alchemy statue, make sure you choose wisely because once you commit to it, you can't go back. Now let's move on to floor 4. Alright guys, now on floor 4, you're going to start to see some new enemies. Look at this mud monster. He's so scary. Ooey and gooey, just dripping, but he's no match for our sword. You might be wondering why I'm using a sword when I'm a magic user on the skills, and that's because you generally want to use your highest damage weapon here in these first 10 floors. It doesn't really matter as long as it gets the job done. Now these pickaxes are a great tool to acquire some new loot as well. You see those yellow blocks around me as I use these pickaxes? That shows you where you're allowed to break. If it was a red X, I would not be allowed to break it. So use these bad boys whenever you feel like it, because it's going to give you a chance to get some random loot. Sometimes you can get some great gold items from them as well. Alright guys, we are halfway done with the first 10 floors. This is floor 5. And look, we've come across our first enchanting table. So, let's start talking about what this magical table can do for us. You're going to see 4 boxes on the left and then your inventory on the right. There's that box in the middle. That is an item slot only, with the 3 around it in the forming the triangle. Is for materials only. So you can see me going through my materials now, trying to figure out what are the highest stats, and we're going to use all our fire reagents to get these materials in here. Now we just need to find a quality item that we want to throw in there, typically something that doesn't already have the stat you're looking for. And if you see down on the bottom portion on the left side, there's percentages. That's going to mean the percentage of the roll, and it succeeded. So we completed our first alchemy table enchantment. So the alchemy statues are to increase stats, but the alchemy statue, you don't get to pick what stat gets applied. It's a random roll. But on these enchantment tables, as long as you have the correct materials, you can pretty much pick and choose which stat you want to add to a particular item. So once again, add the item, add the materials, but keep in mind, sometimes these enchantments will fail. So it's always a good idea to have these around to make sure if you do fail on an enchantment, then you'll have enough materials to try it again. So the main difference between the alchemy statue and the enchantment table is alchemy statue is one-time use, enchantment table is as many times as you have enough materials and mana, because when you use this table inside the cave, it costs mana every time you enchant. And boy, we sure are not having much luck in these last few enchantments. We failed twice in a row now. Third time, let's see if it's going to be a charm for us. Put these wings in here. Hit the enchant button. Oh, we finally succeeded. So, good luck with your enchantments, guys, and let's move on to floor 6. And here is floor 6. So floor 5, we started to see some new enemies with the mud monster and the fire bat, and now we're just going to continue to clear on floor 6. Now we're starting to get closer to floor 10, so you might need to start watching your health meter a little bit more closely, but with the gear we have set up, with the enchantments and the alchemy stats we've increased, it should not be a problem. You just might have to use those health boosts a little more sparingly, But other than that, just continue on to the mission, getting your XP, getting your loot here on floor 6. Floor 6, you're also going to have to start watching out for traps, and you're going to have to increase your inventory. Crap, there's a trap right there, falling rock. It gives you plenty of time to get out of the way, so to make sure you're paying attention because it's quite damaging if it does strike you. Now let's get our first inventory built. 500 gold is all it takes to increase your inventory slot, so let's get it done. Once that is all completed, to continue on to floor 7. Floor 7, you're going to start to see a new enemy called the Flame Spider. He's got many legs, he's an arachnid, and he is not to be trifled with. So, continue on killing your fire bats, your mud monsters. Use these buffs wisely, and you'll be on to the next floor in no time. So, pretty much the same stuff. You may run into another alchemy statue or an enchantment table. It's all random design on each floor. There's that flame spider that we talked about. So he's another new addition to the enemy arsenal. But just keep in mind your health is going to be more important as you get into these higher floors, but the loot also gets better. So just compare the loot to what you've already got and decide which one's going to be best for you to use. Alright guys, we're in the final stretch, starting with floor number 8. You can see we're about halfway dead now, so these health globes here, we're going to have to use them a lot more wisely. So that's why I decided to kill as much as I can before I go ahead and apply that health. 213 increase, and we're still not fully healed. So use as much as you can, but you know, you also want to be smart about it. And now we're starting to have inventory issues again, so let's get another row here. Gotta try and figure out what I want to get rid of here. Oh, the next set is going to cost you 1,000 gold. So pretty much so far, anytime you want to increase your inventory, the cost is going to double. Floor 9 is a critical floor in our journey so far. You don't want to die and lose all the loot you've acquired. Just keep in mind you will keep the gold ones, of course, but we've come way too far to just lay down and die now. So focus on that health, get those boosts, kill those enemies, open those chests, open those pots. You already know which enemies you're going to be coming across. You faced them all before, so just do what you need to do to get to floor 10. It's been a long journey, but here we are at floor 10, the boss level. In the first 10 floors, you're going to come across 2 alchemy statues and 2 enchantment tables. So we're on our second set now. So we're just going to use this alchemy statue and enchantment table and see what we can come up with. So let's take this beast bone necklace, throw it into the alchemy statue, and find out what stat we get. Here we go. So many to choose from. Alright, no, maybe not. Ooh, look at this one. This already has a dark stat. Let's add a 3rd stat to this bad boy. And success. We hit that alchemy button, and we're done. Now, on to the enchantment table. Same thing as last time, but we're going to throw a gold item in here and enhance it with our materials. Some of our materials are starting to get a little scarce, but that's okay because this is floor 10, and we'll be just about done with our journey here shortly. Ah, crap, another failure? Man. Try it once again. Not really able to use the materials that I want to use, but nevertheless, here we go. Man, enchantment succeeded. So, now we've done our alchemy statue, we've done our enchantment table, we just got a fire attack 5 applied to these lurker leather boots. I'm gonna swap those out. Bam! Look, astrologer, that's gonna be achievement we accomplished there, so congrats. You're gonna start to see those get completed as you continue your journey. It's been a long journey in the first 10 floors, and now we just need to go find this pesky boss. So we'll do one more enchantment and head on to the final battle. Alright guys, we've got our XP, we've got our gear as high as we possibly can for now. But now Bloodfang is the only thing that stands in our way from proceeding to the next floor. If you tap and hold on to him directly, you won't engage him, and you can take a look at his stats. So we can see he has 750 health, 29 to 36 base damage, and it looks like he's going to be pretty formidable. But look, let's start with our sword that we just enchanted earlier, and he is going down quickly. He's not taking down our health too bad, and there he went, down like nothing. This is what happens, guys, when you take excellent preparation, do as many runs of the first 10 floors that you want to build your gear the way you want it. And once you get to this final battle, it's going to be a piece of cake. Equipment enhancement has been unlocked as we go to floor 11, but we're gonna stop right here and head back onto town, because now that we've completed the first 10 levels, we can just skip them now. If we want to go back to them, we can, but once we come back to the Forgotten Cave a second time, it'll give us the option to go straight to this floor where we can continue on where we left off. But before you do that, guys, keep in mind when you leave the Forgotten Cave, you lose all your non-gold items. So take some time to sell all the non-golds that you still have to regain some of that gold that we lost. I think the biggest expense we had was we used about 1,500 gold to increase our inventory. Now that we've sold all our non-gold gear, we can get out of here. And wow, what a job well done. Get our trophies. There's our loot that we retain. So good job, guys, on helping us get through these first 10 floors of Greedy Cave 2 in the Forgotten Cave. So in our next video, we are going to explore floors 11 through 20 and go over some more of these tasks. Let's collect them now. And we'll start to also talk about the skill sets that you want to do and builds that will happen. So, lots to talk about. We're just now getting started with the game. Thanks for watching. This has been the first 10 floors of Greedy Cave 2.